What's happening, folks? How you doing? Welcome. Thank you for joining me. It's my fancy new introduction. Hopefully you guys like that. If you happen to hop on the live, drop a hashtag live just to let me know you're here. If you are playing catch up, hashtag replay. That would be awesome. Just helps with the algorithm. Get the message out to more and more people. That would be ideal. Today, what we're going to go through is landing pages and give you guys a bit of an idea as to basically what makes a high converting landing page and why it's really important at some stage in your business. Now, as I wrote in the description, as you guys know, I'm a massive fan of minimalistic setup when it comes to your business. And I think one of the issues that we often face in product development or high ticket affiliate marketing or affiliate marketing in general is that there is such a plethora of information and such a plethora of information that you're trying to glue together at the same time. So it's like, go get your funnel done and then glue on an automated email sequence on the back of that, and then try and add in a chatbot if you want as well. And then you've got to figure out what traffic source, and you've got to go on this traffic source, that traffic source, blah, blah, blah. Lots and lots of source basically. And so what happens for the average punter is that process is so unbelievably overwhelming. And it means that most affiliate marketers and coaches, whatnot, there's just too many moving parts. And so that means oftentimes what will happen is they just fall by the wayside and become another statistic on the scrap heap. So we want to avoid that. However, at some point, you are going to want to automate certain elements. And so what I teach inside my Ultimate Marketing Mastermind program is start in a minimalistic basis, just have an offer, a process to nurture folks. I prefer Facebook groups. So it doesn't have to be. You can go use School or pretty much any container that you like, where you're able to elicit a little bit of data, help your audience out, things like that as well. And then basically just have a conversion mechanism that glues those two together. Once you do that, and especially if you understand how powerful it is to rock a call and sell a high ticket offer of $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 plus. As well as sometimes just closing the DMs or with a Google Doc, and you're like, holy crap, I don't need a fancy funnel. That is crazy. But of course, like I say, at some point you're going to want to automate certain elements of that, and so that's why you add certain things in place. Like, for example, once you've started getting cash flow from your business, you might want to put a funnel in place, right? For example, Carl, what's going on, my man? How you doing? Good to see you. Live from DC. Who else we got on here? A couple of very shy people. How you guys doing? Drop a comment. Let me know you're here. We'll get started in a minute. Just going to go through a couple of pages, one of which I'm very proud of. It's converting at 65%, which I think is quite phenomenal. So I will show you guys that and go through why they're converting so well, and basically take from there anyway. So smash the heart button, drop a hashtag live. And we'll kick off in a second. Far out, you're up late. I appreciate you staying up. Eugene, how you doing? Haven't seen you around for a long time, man. How you going? Nice to see you. This will be right up your alley. And Carl, I don't know if it was you or Chris that recommended this book to me. I'm going to start plowing through this very shortly. Funny story on that one. It was my birthday 3 days ago, and Carla sent you a message with this one. But basically, in Australia, if we happen to miss the person when they go to deliver stuff and they can't leave it in a safe place, they'll just go to the depot. You have to go pick it up. So mine's like maybe 20 minutes walk away. I walked down there and grabbed it yesterday, and there was no note or anything with it. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Because my birthday, I'm assuming, must be one of my amazing family members or friends. So I started doing the rounds and like, hey, do you happen to send me this book? Because it was so random and it felt familiar. I just couldn't figure out why. And the likely suspects who I thought might have, they said, no, I have not. I have not sent that. I'm like, okay, how bizarre. Only to then go into Amazon and realize that I'd ordered this freaking thing ages ago, completely forgot about it. And it just happened to rock up on my birthday. So there you have it. Sign of aging for you. Anyway, that out of the way, appreciate all the engagement. Like I say, it just helps with getting the message out to more and more people. And I think that a lot of folks would get a ton of benefit out of this as well. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you some stats first and foremost, just to prove that I know what I'm doing. And then we'll go through it. Right, so I'm going to share my screen. yeah, look, it seems good. I'm looking forward to smashing it out. So I don't know if it was you or it might have been Chris that recommended it, or it might have been Chris that recommended it via you or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, right. Let's rock and or roll. You guys can see my screen okay? Awesome. Keep hammering the comments, just helps, like I say, much appreciated. Cool. So I'm going to show you guys this funnel in a moment. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see that over there, but over the last, week or so, it's converting at 65%, which is just insane. And there's enough data there to say that it's legit as well. Well, it's not like a, one click or 2 clicks and 1 conversion, 50% conversion rate. We've got some decent data there. I'll just take it back because we haven't been operating this funnel for a little while, but I don't even think it was July, but let's just say it was, just to give you a bit of an example here. And over the lifetime, it's been 62%. So, and that's with, 700 and something opt-ins, which is incredible. Like any page that converts to that high, it's ridiculous, by the way. Normally speaking, especially if you're running paid traffic to it, and for the record, no, we're not running paid traffic to this one, but effectively, you might be looking at 10%, 20% for paid ads, something like that, maybe a little bit higher. Obviously the higher you can make it, as I sort of alluded to, it basically means that, to give you an example, if your funnel is converting at 1%, as in a person opt-ins, they go through the sequence and the emails, blah, 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 and then they buy some stuff at 1%, which is very, very conservative, by the way. Normally they'd be a little bit higher, but just for the sake of argument. With all the things being equal, if you were to then go and change your opt-in page to be from 10% and update that so it becomes 20%, you have quite literally just doubled your business just from that, right? Which is just extraordinary to consider. So I'm just going to bounce back real quick. Any questions on the back of that just before we move on? Chris is smart on me. I don't know, man. You're pretty clued up. Hey, Elizabeth, how you doing? Good to see you. Tell you what, drop your questions, and then I'm just going to keep talking, and I'll come back and I'll address everything. So, first cab off the ranks. This one sits on my profile, and it's part of my overall, what I call my DINP process, dual imprint nurturing process. And basically what that means is that someone jumps onto this page, they opt in, they get sent an email, which then invites them to my group. And so there is a very small barrier of entry there. Now, the reason why I've done that is a couple of reasons. Number one is, if someone can't be bothered going to their emails to click on a link to join a group that's going to help them out, how good are they going to be in your audience anyway? And they're not. The truth is they're not. They're going to be shit. And so therefore I'm like, well, I'm going to put a small wall up, just a little hurdle that allows them to, like say, go and click on the emails to get into the group. Now, the other part of that is effectively, if you don't, then you're going to get lower open rates, because humans are humans. They're just going to go straight into the group, right? Which is fine if that is your intent. If you want more volume coming through into your group, that's fine. Because people, they get lazy, they don't check things, etc., etc., etc. So if that is the case, that's completely fine. There's no real wrong way. For me, I'd rather have a better open rate and better sender deliverability from my emails, which is why I do that. Which means that my initial email is upwards of sort of like 60 to 70% open rates, which is pretty good. Now, a couple of reasons why this converts really well, and I haven't actually checked the stats. Let's have a look. What do we got here? You guys can see all my funnels. Which one was this? Group funnel. I don't know if this converts quite that well. I also have a lot of funnel hackers that try and hack me, so they probably just go through this, I'd say. But let's just have a look. Last couple of weeks worth of stats. 15%. Okay, well, this is rubbish. Yeah, there you go. 15%. What about lifetime? Wow. Like I say, this is what happens when you get a really good funnel. You can see what I'm saying. Like, if I was to spend some time working on this and change the header and all that type of stuff, it would probably convert significantly better. Let's just have a look, see what the lifetime is. Pretty sure it was a little bit higher. So about 30%, which is, look, that's not bad. I wouldn't like cry about that. And for the record, I have run paid traffic to this as well, which is always going to bring that down. But I'm not at the moment. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. 30%, it's not bad. I could probably work on it. But anyway, a couple of things. Join our exclusive free Facebook group, so it's quite clear what exactly you're getting. It's free, it's exclusive, according to me. It's not that exclusive. There's 5,000 odd people in there, but anyway. For affiliates and coaches wanting to attract even more high-ticket customers, this is a really powerful thing in your copy, just generally speaking, by the way, is that if you say you're how to attract, and you can either go like a finite number, like 2 to 3 high-ticket sales per week or whatever it is, but if you are writing in this context, it's quite assumptive. And the assumption is, oh, well, they're already getting sales, so they're probably going to get even more sales, because then there's no upper limit to it. It could be someone who is knocking over 50 high-ticket sales per month, and they're like, whoa, I can get even more than that? Yeah, totally. Okay, well, that's great. I want to opt in. Plus, a little bit of an incentive there. I've got a welcome pack. It's got some really good training in it and stuff like that. And that is it's an overview of my entire business process, basically. And so hence the value there. Click to claim your invite. So again, tiny little barrier. Now, the other thing about this is that this is all what we call above the fold, meaning that if you're on your mobile or whatever, you don't have to like scroll down to get to the opt-in button. This is like a massive, massive thing that I can't stress this enough, is that you've got to make it glaringly obvious what you want the user to do. Right? It has to be just like ridiculous, like click to claim the invite. Oh, what do I have to do now? There's no instruction manual with this thing. What am I meant to do? You got to click it. Oh, okay, because it says click. Okay, cool. And there's no scrolling. Now, the thing that I want to really stress here is that what you're aiming to do with an opt-in page is minimize decision fatigue. So I'll give you guys an analogy. Have you ever been to a restaurant and I won't use any specific cultures here, but anyways, my point being is that sometimes you go to a restaurant and they've got like those laminated booklets, and there's like 18 pages, and each one has about 40 different options on it. You're like, how do I make a decision? Everything looks so good. I want it all now. And so your brain just kind of becomes like this jumble, and then the decision-making process takes longer because you're like, well, that looks good. Well, that looks good. Well, that could be good. That'd be amazing. And so what you want to do, like if you take that same concept into doing stuff online, like funnels, for example, you want to minimize decision fatigue. You want to get rid of everything else. And it's just literally like the only 2 options here are either, well, 3. I'm going to scroll down and read the rest of it. I'm going to click on the big blue button, or I'm going to bugger off, right? That's literally the only 3 things that you want. And so with this one, now I probably, just for the record as well, I could probably get rid of all this stuff here, and it might even convert better. I'm not entirely sure, but I haven't split tested. But wanted to give a little bit of an intro as to who I am. This photo is, I think this was 2019, I think. So it might be time for an update. I'm a little bit grayer, a little bit older now. So yeah, there you go. Inside you get access to free training, our exclusive welcome pack, plus weekly coaching sessions, showing I need to change that because I haven't really been regular with these lives. How to shortcut your way to high-ticket clients, indecisive prospects, get your time back. Yeah, okay. So I need to update a few of these things, but a little bit of copy in there for affiliates and coaches who aspire to build beyond business and leave a bigger. Wow, God, I'm good. That's nice. I like that. Build beyond business. Oh man, sometimes I like it. Right. So this is my main funnel. This is the one that I've left a link below if you want to check that out. This is for a case study. It is what we call a call funnel. Actually, let me just go through this. I'll show you guys. You're welcome to go through it. Just ultimateaffiliategroup.com before I get into there. Submitting. Application has not yet been approved. You shall not pass. So little handy thing is that in order to get better opt-in rates and open rates, I should say, is that the inboxes like it if it's a natural thing. So part of the sequence I've got on the back of this is that I send an initial email pretty much straight away as soon as ActiveCampaign lets me. And then about, I think it's 18 minutes later, there's an automated, just a real simple email that gets sent off the back of it to the tune of like, hey, would you like me to send the free welcome pack here? And I just get them to reply. There's no links or anything. It just looks like a real normal, like an email you'd write to a friend. And the reason for that is because I want the inboxes to identify this as being a two-way conversation, which helps with deliverability, things like that. Right, so what to do next? I also made a GIF with one of my inboxes just showing like, hey, please drag me over to the old inbox, if it's in the promotions tab, for example. Like I say, extra step, blah, blah, and that's it, end of that funnel. Right, moving on. Like I say, this is my main core funnel that I have, or webinar funnel, however you want to look at it. I've had about, I'm going to say conservatively, 20 iterations of this, probably more. This is the one I've sort of landed on at the moment. I don't have much in the way of stats because I haven't run any traffic at all to this just yet. So I don't really know what it's doing. But, you know, just a big, huge title. I added the upper layer. I've tested it with and without. The upper layer, I just put it there to make it look a little bit more professional, basically. And I've also split test these colors as well. Like sometimes I'll go like blue or red, things like that as well. But again, really important things, big, huge headline and little sort of naming convention for you guys as well. You know, how to create your hook is like how to X without Y, basically. How to achieve X without Y. So how to achieve your dream outcome without biggest obstacle, even if blah, 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 right? So what that means is that that's kind of like the typical industry convention for doing headlines. There's obviously other ones. I just like that approach because it's really, really simple. It's also really upfront. Free web class. Okay, so web class, right? So there's something there. How coaches, course creators, and affiliates. So my ideal demographic, who I'm targeting, coaches, course creators, and affiliates. Clearly, I've had experience with all. Can start getting more high-paying clients without ads. So I use the term high-paying here, and I'll confess that I modeled this off another funnel that I saw, as opposed to high-ticket clients, because I felt that might be a slight disconnect with some audience members. They might go, what's ticket? What's ticket? What do you mean high ticket? What is that? I don't know why they would speak like that, but that was what was going through my brain. Now, what that would mean is that everyone knows what high paying is, right? Everyone can like figure that out for themselves. And every individual might have a different definition of what that looks like as well. So clients, well, everyone knows what a freaking client is, I hope, without, so big, chunky, bold, ads, complex funnels, or an existing audience. Now, it's always such an irony when I say that, because I've got funnels, right? Like I've done okay at the old funnel building thing, we shall say. But you know, it's just one of those things. It's just a hook, because then if people have this mental objection, like, oh, funnels, it's complicated, and like, oh, I don't have an existing audience, and then the last part, even if you don't have an existing offer, right? So people think, okay, well, do I need to have my own offer already? Like, do I need to be an established coach and you're going to help me do the next thing, or like, how does this work? So I'm going to test this whole thing. I haven't run traffic to it for recently, at least anyway. So I'll send some traffic, I'll figure it out, and I'll come back and report back. Again, everything's above the fold, big chunky green button, you can't miss it. Register my spot now, and then obviously just referencing these. So I'll tell you something really interesting. I thought at one stage, what I'd do is I put my photo of me with my 2 Comic Con award, just to kind of like show, hey, I know some stuff. And it got a like significantly lower opt-in rate than this photo. And I've split test other photos, and something about this, maybe just we look friendly or whatever, I don't know, a little bit less intimidating than like me holding a plaque going, I'm a wanker with a plaque. Like, I think that's probably the main reason, just a little bit friendlier. Plus it's got my wife in it, and she's way cuter than I am. So there you go. Inside, discover 51K per month process. I need to change that. It's not really well written, but whatever. Simple. This process is responsible for hundreds of success stories online, and now it can be yours free. How to avoid the most common mistakes new marketers make. I'm attacking a little bit of a pain point here, because it's also planting a seed, because the reality is that so many new marketers are going to make a plethora of mistakes along the way anyway. But of course, if you are expressing that early on, then people are, oh, I don't want to be one of those ones. I want to be one of the ones that doesn't make mistakes. I want to at least know what they are so I can avoid them, right? We're quite a powerful line. How one of my students banked over 10,367, I don't know the exact figure. It was like 367 or 387, something like that, in just 49 days without prior audience, all while balancing family life and a busy corporate career. So it is addressing a potential obstacle that might pop up for some people. They might go, oh, I can't do it because I don't have any time, and like I'm busy, and then just a reiteration of register my spot now. That's it, right? So there's also in that wording register my spot. It's kind of like almost like save my seat type stuff. And so there's a little kind of like psychological nuance to that as well, where if I just say click to watch now, then it's like it doesn't have as much impact. Whereas if you were registering for something, it's almost like you were going to a theater and you're saving your seat type stuff. So you guys getting value out of this so far? Just go back, see if we've got anything going on. Kelly, how you doing? Good to see you. Smash the comments, guys. Let me know what's up. Is this of value to anyone? I'm happy to chop it off right there if everyone decides that it's not valuable. Thank you, sir. I need it. My delicate ego needs all the validation it can get. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks, Elizabeth. You guys are my favorite. Everyone else sucks. Just kidding. Right. Cool. Got two more to go. And last one, I'll show you guys the 65er, which you'll be very impressed with. Okay, so where were we? Here. Okay, this one, when I launched this one, this converted at, actually, let me just check. It was astronomical. Like, well, I think it was like close to 80% when I first launched it. Let me just double check on that. Back. Too many blooming funnels, man. Overwhelming. Oh yeah, here we go. Now, bearing in mind there's probably zero traffic to it. This was done a year or two ago. Oops. I wonder how far back this thing goes, actually. It was I don't even remember, actually, come to think of it. Let's just try that and see what happens. Lifetime. Really? No stats. Great, thanks. That's lovely. Yeah, okay, so it's a little bit hard to see. It's dropped down to 47.5. But what happened was I ran some paid traffic to it for a little while. But then the other thing that I did was I've revealed this quite a number of times. I put this in free training before. And so anytime you do that, you're going to get a natural drop in opt-in rates and opt-in response, because it's like revealing the secret sauce, if you know what I mean. And then everyone tries to like funnel hack it. But anyway, when it first came out, it was like bang, nearly 80%. I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. It's just dropped down. But I still would argue 47% opt-in is pretty damn good. But there's a whole bunch of reasons for it. I'm going to cover those here. Right. First and foremost, what do you see? Like, if you turn your head ever so slightly, just humor me for a second here. Everyone at home in your audience, just like turn your head ever so slightly. And what's happening out your peripherals? Big, chunky ass red button, right? Cannot miss it. Your peripherals are picking that up. Bang, still there, right? So it means like it's so glaringly obvious in the screen. It's like my eyes, even though I'm like looking like you're above that, they're still picking that up, right? So that's the first thing. It's like glaringly obvious right in your face. I'll tell you a couple of things I probably should get rid of to help conversion rates. I need to get rid of the ClickFunnels thing. It's a bit obscene. Doesn't really do anything. I don't even think ClickFunnels pay out on this stuff anymore either, by the way. The blue, I probably should change that to gray, just to be in alignment with that, because I've got this little nifty little disclaimer down there as well. So there's a couple, and this doesn't go anywhere, so there's no actual funnel on it anymore, by the way, so don't try and click through it. But brand new, anytime something's brand new, it's like freaking people love it. Like, oh my God, if it's new, well, I can't have seen this before. That's amazing, right? And so anything's brand new. Also, the color scheme's a little bit different. Tool. So if I said guide or training or something like that, then it's something people like, oh, I don't really want a PDF. I don't want to fill my inbox with more stuff. I don't really want to sit through another training, right? So there's a whole bunch of things that people like, it pops up and they're like, oh no. But a tool, it's like, oh, that's new. That's really cool. I probably could have I have got it free. I was going to say could probably have put brand new free tool reveals. That would make it ever so slightly better. How to create endless content, because I understand this is a pain point for a lot of people. They get stuck on what to create. It's something that they don't enjoy the process of. Like they overthink everything. Completely understand, by the way. It's a thing that will take a little while to work out, basically. Endless content, and who doesn't want it? If I have endless content, surely that's got to be a good thing, especially when it can easily attracts. Easily. Right? That's cool. I mean, hang on, this is not even hard. Like, it attracts more leads and sales in minutes. I could probably say attracts even more leads and sales in minutes, right? So then I'm talking to people that already have momentum and all that type of stuff, right? Leads and sales, again, it's a huge pain point. What is the two things that most people get stuck with? There's no such thing as high ticket buy leads. How do you make sales? Like, sorry, I'm not dissing anyone. I'm just like, it's such a common thing when people jump into my audience. They're like, how do you find high ticket buy leads? Which, by the way, if you want to resolve that, I've got something that's like literally $9. Let me know if you want it. It's going to change the game for you in terms of lead generation stuff. Anyways, aside from that, it's also the color as well, and in minutes, which is a reduction of time. Okay, so anytime you are able to reduce the impact or the perception of time, then it's obviously a benefit. It's that whole Alex Hormozy value equation stuff. Dream outcomes times by the I always get this really confused now. I'm really embarrassed. Dream outcome times by the perceived likelihood of achievement divided by the time delay to achieve said dream outcome times by effort and sacrifice to get that, right? So effort and sacrifice, that's a tool, like that's something easy. It's easy, like I said, it easily attracts. So it's basically, if you say easy, then it alludes to it being something that is simple for people to understand, right? And in minutes, right, which is a contraction of time, compression of time. So, do you want unlimited content that sells anything? I sometimes laugh at myself about the copy. Hell yeah, of course, like everyone wants that, right? That sells anything, okay? Because then I've left it open. It's like that sells very, 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 very specific high ticket affiliate offers online. It's like sells anything. Okay, yeah, sells anything. It's cool. Meaning it's for a very broad demographic. Download free tool now. I should say download the free tool now, but never let grammar and syntax get in the way of a good opt-in page, I say. Click here to download now. So real simple, and I don't think this goes anywhere, but I'll just kind of show you guys. Crikey. Another little hint as well. Actually, before I do, I'm going to explain two more things. The other thing is, if you have an opt-in form, that can still get opt-ins, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But when you don't have the opt-in just sitting there and someone has to click to reveal the pop-up, it's just a lot more powerful, okay? The other thing, just real quickly, is I don't know if you can see the screen in the background. It is New York, okay? And so there's a subconscious thing playing out here, and it's grayscale, so it's a little bit different in terms of the color scheme. But something playing out on a subconscious basis, and it's very, very subtle. But when you think of New York, what do you think of, normally speaking? And if you ask pretty much the world, you're going to say Wall Street, right? New York, Big Apple, Wall Street, Statue of Liberty, whatever. And so a lot of the time, there's an association with money. And so therefore, subconsciously, that is being impacted by the user as well. So this is all very ninja, very ninja. Okay. Last but not least, the big reveal. You're ready for it, the 65%. And this is it. Super, super simple. Super, super simple. Couple of reasons. Nice color scheme. It looks pretty. Slightly feminine as well, which I think is quite appealing to the target demographic for this particular item. Download our free, and everyone loves free stuff, right? Everyone loves free stuff. Download our free income plus expense tracker tool. Which is super groovy, right? That's what people want. Income plus expense tracker tool. Which is kind of cool. Like that sounds like something, if you're wanting to manage your finances, like you might want. Plus get access. Anytime you're adding free stuff, people love it. Plus get access to our bonus 100 budget category list. So just like a free template with a list of all your bill categories there, which I think is pretty cool. So you can finally take control of your finances. It's attacking a particular pain point because the assumption is people typically aren't, right? So therefore, if you can you can kind of highlight that. Click to download the free tool now. And that's it. Really, really simple. I can't scroll, can't do anything. It is all what we call above the fold, like I mentioned. And it does fit into the rules that I mentioned before. There's there's only two decisions here. I'm going to click the big button that says click to download the free tool now, or free tool. So that's one decision I have to make. Am I going to do that or not? Or the other one is, and if I'm not, then that's it. Actually, there's only one decision. I'm going to click it or I'm going to leave the page. That's literally it. I can't scroll. I probably need to put like a terms and conditions or privacy things there, but we're not running traffic to it, so it not as important, I would think. Although I might need to confirm on that one. Don't take that as gospel. But yeah, actually, come to think of it, might need to put some stuff in there. So anyway, that's it. Real simple. Come through here. Where can we send it? And then they just go through and get that thing right. And all it's got on the other side is just literally a 2-pager just to collect emails at this point. And it's growing by about 20 to 30 new subs every day, which is pretty damn cool off of organic traffic. So yeah, really, really, really impressed by that. But that's it. Like I say, anytime you've got like a free tool or something of that nature, because it's something different, like people like playing with stuff, and so therefore if they're able to feel like they can gamify things, like that's awesome. Free bonuses, again, color scheme, really, really simple. But again, the peripherals, like if I'm looking away from my screen, I can still see the big button right in the middle there as well. Right, so my decision fatigue, I should not get fatigued by this. It's either I opt in or I don't. Really, really, really simple. So you can finally take control of your finances. Then just a little disclaimer, we will not spam, rent, or sell your information. So just a typical sort of thing you put on these particular pages. So that's it. Pretty groovy, huh? $2,000 pizza. How'd you guys find that? Helpful? It's groovy. It's very groovy. So big takeaways for you guys are, and here's the other thing as well, is that don't be afraid to split test things. And it's okay to be like a little bit, how do you call it? I think experimental. I think it's okay to be a bit experimental. And so if you understand that, when I say experimental, let me kind of like jive on that for a second. When I say experimental, I don't mean like just going, okay, I'm going to put like 300 links on one page and different opt-in forms, and as Jamie said, to be experimental. What I mean is that if you take into consideration what is going to get someone to go through that, which is like nice big headline, nice big hook, above the fold, like the instructions are really clear, they can get it in like half a second, good color schemes, nothing kind of like too weird and funky, nothing distracting, like things like that. If you adhere to that, then you can experiment with things. So you might experiment with the color scheme of the button and split test that, and you might experiment with the opt-in, the hook itself, right? You might play around with a couple of different angles, and once you get that, like that's usually when things take off really well. So you can kind of go, okay, well, we can add this. And so we made that last page I showed you, made a slight iteration to it, and we added just the top title. So it was just basically saying, get free 100 categories this year. And we're still converting really well. I think it was like in its 40s, and then we changed it to that top part. So nothing else, just a little thing at the top, just the free budget template plus income tracker. And it went freaking bananas. Like that's when it went from right up to 65. Actually, no, it went the other way. It actually went as close to 90% when we first did it, after we made that change. And then it petters off after a while. And that's just kind of the way these things goes. Like if you're throwing traffic at stuff, things like that, then it will, some people just go out and they go, oh, it's a nice thing. Or they might forget to go and download it, so they can just keep going back to the page to re-opt in and stuff like that. Like folks are weird. So yeah, anyway, go and check that out. But yeah, biggest takeaways, just reduce as much as you can the concept of decision fatigue on the opt-in pages. Massive advice for you. That's the biggest thing. And then, because like quite often I'll go, and especially on TikTok, it seems really prevalent. It's like everyone's got like link trees and shit. And I go over there and I'm like, what am I actually looking at? Like there's 500 things for me to scroll through. It's like, jump on a Calendly link with me, have a virtual coffee with me, go to this Zoom thing, get this free thing, get this other completely unrelated health thing that I'm promoting as well, get this other make money online thing, get this other website template. And I'm like, far out, that don't hurt your audience. Just give them less things to decide. Life's hard enough, man. Like you can't just be throwing all this stuff at them. Just give them just less decisions. And it is very real, Carl. Yeah, imagine if it's blue wire or green wire or black wire or magenta wire or highlighter pink wire or like, man, that's a lot of decisions. Hopefully it wasn't like that in your case. For context, Carl used to do bomb disposal. Any questions, folks? I don't have a very good singing voice. Cool. Folks, if you are wanting help to grow and monetize a highly profitable community online, that is what I teach inside my Ultimate Marketing Mastermind program. I've left a link if you want to check out the free case study. Go through that, and if you'd like to chat with myself to see whether or not this could work in your specific situation, happy to do so. It is a very relaxed conversation, by the way. I don't believe in anything of a pressured nature, but we're doing good stuff. We've got new modules on its way as we speak. So yeah, hit me up. What do you let me just highlight that so for the viewers at home. What do you think about System.io? I got it there. Oh yeah, question. Just in time, just in the nick of time. Right. System.io is great. Don't tell Russell Brunson, but I also promote System.io. I think it's really good software for very cheap. I probably shouldn't say this on a public forum because I'm worried that Russ will send through some hired goons, but I don't think so. I think there's better builders out there. Oh, I said it. Oh, I'm going to get smited down. Hired goons on their way as we speak. No, look, here's the thing. Okay, look, I'm going to level with you guys for a second, okay? None of it matters at all, okay? None of it. As long as you've got something that can capture leads, if you're going to go down the route of funnel building and do the thing and sell some stuff, there's no, like, don't like stress your brain out by thinking that you need to go get the best. Because I know we are programmed by nature as humans to go and I'm going to go get the best of everything, right? And that is true. But what happens is that mental energy, decision fatigue, now you got me on a rant, decision fatigue, the mental energy that we expend trying to figure out what the best funnel builder is for us is time that is moving you further away from profitability in your business. I can assure you on that. Just go with one. They all do the same function. Commit to it. Like, it literally doesn't matter. You can change at different stages, right? Like, I'm not saying that you're never married to any one funnel builder. I've still got Builderall, believe it or not. Builderall that I started promoting in 2017. Obviously, I've got ClickFunnels, I've got System.io, I've got Thrive Themes. That was, to be fair, that is one of the cleanest ones out there, but it's a little bit tricky because it's on WordPress, so you have to go get separate hosting and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. But don't overthink it. Like, System.io is fine, it's functional. You can upgrade later. They all do the same thing, basically. Missionaries to convert. Yeah, like I say, I stand by my hired goons comment. That's kidding. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I agree, but I might have a slight bias there. Yeah, no, honestly speaking, here's my thing. Like, I did this today so you guys can kind of understand what needs to go into an opt-in page once you're up to that point. But literally, I mean, I've sold $10,000 coaching packages with a handful of DMs in a Google Doc, right? Like, it doesn't, you don't overthink that thing. Like, the best thing you can do is just learn how to sell, craft an offer, write a bit of copy, get in front of folks, basically, and just figure out how you're going to close your deals. And that's pretty much it. And I say this with a sense of passion because dog san, it took me so long to figure this stuff out. I went through the ringer I'm doing everything that you mentioned just then. I'm going to go find the best funnel builder and blah blah, and like, I want to get the Ferrari of funnel builders, blah blah. Yeah, great software, great kind of like culture that goes with it. But it's just much and muchless. Better off just learning how to build an audience, nurture that audience, craft an offer that solves their problems, sell them some stuff in a way that's just like super chilled out. And once you do, then it's like, cool, well, I can go do whatever now. It's awesome. Anyways, folks, I'm going to go and do other stuff on my Saturday. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all the engagement. Like I say, massively helps me just get the message out to the algorithm. And if there's anything you'd like to learn moving forward, I'm happy to do these on a regular basis as well. I have done about 1 trillion lives in here over the years. So if there's anything else you'd like to learn or figure out or whatever, happy to teach it. I've done some stuff, a couple of things. Don't have it all figured out, but I've done a couple of things. Might be able to help. Anyway, folks, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like I say, anyone that catches the replay, #replay, and just smash that heart button would be much appreciated. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.